Some people are very high skilled manipulators, while others build their whole life on lies. Some are very good at damaging other people's life. And this is why today's video is focused on signs of toxic relationships and what you can do to fix it. Let's be honest, toxic relationships sucks. Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is enlighten. On this channel we talk about self-improvement, things you were not taught in school but you have to experience them in real life. If you have been or experienced any toxic relationship that changed you, why don't you go to the comment section and share, oh, I have experienced this. Now let's dive right into it. Relationship actually is not supposed to be that complicated. The major reason why people come together is to experience love, peace, companionship, and all of a sudden life is becoming so hard when two people come together. They are coming in with their trauma responses, their background, parenting, and every other thing they have growing up or how they perceive things. The hardest thing in the world is changing someone else's lifestyle, opinion, or whatever they have. The red flags are always there. The fact that you can see the red flag. Now the pointer is on you. When you have seen the red flag, are you ready to take decisions? Let us look into some of these signs that you are in a toxic relationship and how you can fix them. Number one of them is enforcing submission when you are not loved. We live in a culture where religion taught women that they should be virtuous, they should be submissive, they should be this, they should be that. The same religion also taught men that they should learn to love their wives. When a man focuses on your submission for you to be loved, this is toxic. I see lots of women in a relationship where they have never ever felt love. The husband never cared for them. Everything goes so wrong. And if you listen to this man talk, this man tells everyone in the world, she's not submissive, she's not respecting me, and this is why I can't love her. This is hard. One of the hardest things in the world is to be in a relationship where you know everything goes so wrong and someone is telling you that you are not capable of being loved because you are not deserving of it. Now let's face it, submission comes easy for a woman when she feels loved. In fact, when a woman feels loved, the most important thing she does to express that love is to submit to a man who loves them. One of the toughest things to do in the world is to submit to someone who does not love you. It's like you telling someone to submit to their enemy. It is hard because you are looking at your partner as your opponent who you have a fighting situation with. It's very hard. And you see, because you force yourself to do that, you are performing. And you are not meant to perform when you are in love. You are meant to live, to be, to experience, not for you to act, to perform, or to do something to get qualified in being loved. Do you understand? So one of the toughest signs of a toxic relationship is when they keep enforcing submission and you know so clearly that you are not loved. The second one is silent treatment and harsh communication. Now here's the thing. You experience your partner not talking to you when something goes wrong. They decide to practically go off and not speak to you. Or when you ask a simple question, you get harsh response. You get harsh tone. Another part of it is when they listen to you talk, and when you're done talking, they start attacking you from your talk or from your responses. This is one of the hardest places you can express yourself because you're never sure of what is going to be the next response. It's so tough, it's so hard, and the hardest thing to do is trying to tell them, this is how you should talk to me, this is how you should behave. It is tough. So either you go back not talking or you find yourself nagging. The situation never leaves anyone better. The third sign of toxic relationships, they want to cut you off completely from people you have met before you know them, stopping every communication. They just want to have you. And while you are with them, you still do not have this fulfillment, this happiness. I mean, love is not supposed to change you, stop your own flow of life. Love is not exclusive, it is inclusive. And when you see this sign, you are actually in a toxic relationship. Now, another sign of a toxic relationship is finding out that you are in a relationship where you feel alone. Most people are in a relationship where they cannot even communicate with their partner. They are very sure that the partner does not have their best interest at heart. They are so alone. It's like you are living with someone and this person is your roommate. It is toxic. The question I keep asking is, what exactly is your self-definition of companionship? If you do not feel that you are with someone, why are you faking that you are with them when everything about you emotionally, mentally, physically is completely cut off from that relationship? Another sign of a toxic relationship is lack of sex. Now, we've seen couples who are in a relationship. Some of them have sexual issues, right? I mean, this is a medical issue that needs attention. It has nothing to do with someone intentionally stopping you from enjoying your sexual needs. I'm talking about this because I remember a friend of mine who recently told me that since November 2012, that she has never, ever had sex with her husband. To be very honest with you, this was a shocker for me. Why? Because it's so beautiful in the world definition of what beautiful is physically, right? And the husband is not sexually sick. Like seriously, this guy has a hobby of playing football. And he does that most of the time. He has the stamina, he has the strength, but they both decided they don't want to be with each other because they have had several arguments, fights, talks, brags that push them both aside, and they do not have sex. They still talk in the house, they still relate in the house, but they hardly feel that they are in a relationship. Hey honey, this is toxic. Now, another aspect of toxic relationship is extreme jealousy. When you are in a relationship where someone is always badging you, who calls you, who is calling you on the phone, where have you been, why are you not picking my call, can you please make a video call of where you are you sure this is that? This is extremely toxic because you keep on trying to defend yourself, prove yourself, and it's not necessary because this is going to keep exhausting you, and it is a pure proof that the relationship lacks trust. And because it lacks trust, it does not have a solid foundation. It is going to fall. It's a matter of time. And another sign of a toxic relationship is lies. Lies. Like seriously, how does it feel that someone is telling you that they are traveling and your thought is that, are you sure? Maybe they have moved in a hotel with someone else. You just can't believe it. Even when they tell you that they do not have money or anything they say is lies. It is torturing for anyone to remain in a relationship where they do not feel their partner is telling them the truth on every level. Now, another sign of a toxic relationship is whenever there are issues at home, you find out that it doesn't get solved. Over and over again, you complain about the way things are, you complain about this, about that. You know that you are not being listened to. And even when sometimes you report them to someone else or you have someone they are close to whom you can tell what is bothering you and you need it to be changed, they will hear, they will listen, they will tell you they are going to change, but you do not see any change. There is no change. Unresolved issues and unchanged attitude in relationships is one of the toughest places to be, because really as an adult, you do not know how you can start raising another adult, telling them the right thing they should do to you and the other thing they should do to you. The other part of a toxic relationship is controlling. People want to control everything you say and do. Your own views and perception to life doesn't really matter here. And you struggle to find who you are. It's always about struggling. It's always about not feeling so right. It's always about something not just so right. It is toxic, and you don't need to keep pretending about this. Now that you can see the clear signs of a toxic relationship, the other step is, what are you going to do? And this is where it gets tough. One of the things that keep people in a toxic relationship is their emotions. Emotions of what am I going to do? Where am I going? How am I going to do it? Most times, there's always a better life on the other side. The truth is, like my Angelo would always say, you have two choices in every relationship. Either you change it to fit into what you like, or you remove yourself completely into it. But before you start fixing it, or before you think of fixing it, you need to recognize that your partner also have the need of working it out, because the effort shouldn't be just one-sided. It has to be both parties trying to work at making it better. And if effort is coming only from you, then it doesn't worth it. One big trauma response is for people who are in toxic relationship and they are still there is they sit down waiting for that person to wake up one day, to see them, to love them, to understand them. You are waiting and you see it not coming, but you are hoping that it's going to happen. This is a trauma response. how to love you, what to do to love you. This naturally happens, and it happens effortlessly. Another part of trying to fix it is simply identify it and talk on how to fix it. And if it's not working, there's no need for you to sit in a spot waiting for someone to wake up one day to see you, to love you, to understand you, because that might not happen. And you do not have any right to start controlling an adult or telling them, can't you see me? Do you know that you're supposed to love me? It doesn't even sound right to begin with. So the first thing you do is, when you see or feel that something doesn't feel right, approach it. And after you're done approaching it, you will know whether it is okay at this point, whether it's something you can bear, whether it's something you can work out with. And if there's no sign of it, remove yourself from toxic relationship. We've had series of domestic deaths, domestic violence, and none of these things started happening. All of them has shown signs. The signs have always been so glaring, but the parties involved has always been giving excuses, always thinking of how to start all over again. You should recognize that you have to start loving yourself first. And for anyone to love you, you have to define for them that them keeping you in a place where you don't deserve to be is a sign that they don't want you. And if you remove yourself from that, it's going to do two things. Either it make them realize that you are there, or it pushes them away. Either of these things is the best for you. I actually have a friend who has been with her husband for 8 years. Relationship gets so bad. They got disconnected emotionally. Nothing was actually working for both of them. And then she doesn't know how to leave because she felt she doesn't know how to start all over again. After long years of nagging, emotional disconnection, feeling alone in relationship, she said, it is time for me to excuse myself and find a better life for myself. She left. And when she left, the shocking thing that happened to everyone was when she left, the partner never for one day looked for her, called her to ask her, where have you been? What are you doing? How is it with you? Or why did you leave? Or what got so bad? This person never cared. This person moved on with his life like nothing happened. And I said to her, you can see so clearly that your presence doesn't make any difference. So if you have been there for donkey years, waiting for this person to wake up one day to see you, to love you the way you are, this wouldn't have ever happened. Ever. So because you cannot control someone else's emotion, because you do not have any right to change another human being to be the way you want them to be, hey, you simply have to take hold of yourself, control yourself, and do things the way they should be. Because you deserve to be loved. You are worthy. You deserve to be seen. You are not invisible. You are visible. You deserve to be heard. And you should stop nagging. When you know that you are heard, nagging ceases. Love could be one of the most beautiful things if we come together and believe that we can work it out and make things better. So, toxic relationship is actually a sign that something is not just right, that it needs attention. And if you pay attention to what's not right, and both parties agree that it can be resolved, truly and honestly, it can be resolved. But if both parties feel that there is no need, the effort is coming one-sided, then it doesn't need to be resolved. People need to move on with their life, because really, life is too short for someone to sit down waiting for another person to wake up and live the way they should. Sexual needs are valid. You feeling visible is valid. You want to be heard is valid. Your own life is valid. The truth of the matter is that toxic relationships keep damaging you, keep changing you. Whether you're seeing it, whether you're not seeing it, toxic relationship has a way of changing things and make you the person you never ever thought or believed ever possible. If you ask anyone who has ever survived in toxic relationship, they'll say things like, I've always known that this person is like this, but I thought they are going to change. This is one big mistake we make in relationship. Waiting and wishing that an adult is going to change over something he or she has shown you that this is exactly who I am. Why would you want to sit down to wait for them to change? Because they are on the other side thinking that you have seen them for who they are, that you have known and accepted them for who they have portrayed to you that they are. And you are on the other side saying, this is really bad, but I wish she's going to wake up one day and change. So when you see what doesn't feel right, approach it, change it, and make it better. If you like this content, why don't you go ahead, click on the subscription button, like this video, so that more people will be recommended to it. Thank you.